This is Channel 12 News, bringing you some of the facts, sometimes. We begin tonight.
Good evening and welcome. I am your host, Matthew Mark. We have an exclusive interview with the persecuted
Randall McMurphy
later tonight. But first, here's Channel 12 correspondent Luke John of the side of the battlefield, where Joan of Arc sits down with us and gives us her side of the story. Luke?
Thank you, Matthew. And today I'm here with, what's your name?
Jeanne d'Arc.
Jeanne d'Arc. Okay. What exactly did you do?
Yes, I was born on the 6th of January, 1412 in Dorheim, France. Yes, I never learned how to write or read, became the savior of my country. The English took my home and I heard voices from St. Michael and Catherine.
And I heard something happened. Your father wanted you to marry some local farmer boy?
Yes, I took a vow of chastity and talked to the local nobleman and asked for an audience with Charles, who was the true king. But then the people laugh at me and they say I saw something in me and they change their mind, decide to let me speak. I act like a man, cutting my hair. Sorry. I met with Charles, right? And I vowed to see him become king because we all supported him and stuff. And I did something that no one else could.
What makes you so special? Why did he trust you?
Well, because I told him about his secret prayers. No one else could possibly have known about that. And I think that it just reinforces this idea. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a narcissist. I just think I'm sent by a higher being. That kind of deal, you know? I'm chosen. I have to be. No one else could know that. And obviously he thought the same. So he gave me a horse and armor, and he sent me to Orlan to save the desperate French from being under siege by the English. And I became their symbol of hope. You know, I destroyed the English. I gave them the first, real victory they had in a long time.
And, what happened after that?
Yeah, man, everything was good. Yeah, everything was looking on the up and up. The whole country was happy. I was doing all right. And then there was another battle. After we'd finally had this victory, it just felt like a roller coaster of emotions because there was another battle against the English. And, I don't like to talk about this often, but I think it's finally time to have that aired out. I was arrested and put on trial. And it was a really vulnerable time for me because, they accused me of all these crazy things, like witchcraft, heresy, dressing like a man. Charles was gone. He didn't talk to me. I supported him in his time of need, and then where was he? It messed me up, man. After a year in prison, I had to sign this confession that I'd never heard the voices of those saints that talked to me, and that's just crazy because what is my purpose in life? I'm this 16, 17-year-old, right? And it just broke me. I renounced the confession after a while. I signed it at first, and people were like, oh, whatever, I guess you're not our Messiah. And then for that, they burned me at the stake, man. That's why I'm here today. You see me here. It's so messed up. I want my story to get out there. I want people to know what happened to me. These people are ungrateful, man. Look what I did for them. And then, here's how it ended for me.
Oh, yeah, that sucks, man. Back to you, Matthew.
What a polarizing and interesting person that this Joan of Arc is. Anyways, we are now heading to a unique section of our broadcast, Reader's Corner, with our distinguished professor, Connor Martin.
Hello. In today's episode of the Reader's Corner, we will be discussing Ken Casey's novel, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Casey's story is set in a mental hospital with patients stripped of their identity and individuality. Self-expression is strongly repressed within the hospital, a symbolic reference to the larger structures of society. The strict rules and schedule of Nurse Ratch's ward represent societal standards that deprive individuals of their autonomy and humanity. Now, we move on to the Coal Mine, an institution found within the novel that, while it may only be a fabrication of Brahman's mind, symbolizes an unseen force of society that works to maintain the societal machine that it has built. This machine encompasses all individuals of society, each one acting as a carefully constructed and conditioned gear that allows society to function to the standards of the Coal Mine. The Native American character Brahman, who is also the narrator of the story, is an example of a loose bolt in this carefully crafted construction. He and his family, specifically his father, refused to submit their native land to the Coal Mine, or the country as a whole, and by doing so, he disrupts the Combine's machine. Brahman is sent to the mental hospital because he is believed to be dysfunctional, accredited to a muteness that does not truly exist, symbolized by Brahman being a broken cog in the Combine's scheme. He and the other patients of the ward act as a loose bolt, one that does not properly fit into its place in society. The big nurse's goal is to mold and fix her patients to match societal norms, where Nurse Ratched symbolically represents a wrench that forces the loose bolts of the Combine's machine back into their proper place. This is all the time we have today for the Reader's Corner. And now back to Matthew Mark.
Now, going into sports, the high-octane, absolute blood-pumping Chronic Basketball Association, or the CBA for short, have finally made their debut of the Acute versus the AIDS, with star shooting guard of the Acute, Randall McMurphy, executing an electrical crossover to seize a soul-crushing draw. Just coming in, Mark is currently in front of the mental wards of suspicions of the game being supposedly fixed. Mark?
Hi, Matthew. I'm outside of this mental ward, and for the first time in this community's history, we are seeing a men's basketball team being organized and comprised by asylum patients.
No! No, we are not. You turn that camera off, young man. I don't authorize you to be here, okay? Thank you so much. Now, give me the camera. Give me the camera. Give me the camera!
Unfortunately, Matthew can't cover for me in the studio. So despite the horrific scene that you have just witnessed, Miss Ratched is currently under investigation of a string of felonies, with patients labeling the felon as Big Nurse, and from our trusted sources is the heart of the driving oppressive force that every patient is being tormented by, as she acts as a savior despite being the usurper of these patients' freedom. She's like the English King Henry VI, a weak and inept ruler that didn't really solve anything, and was just a monarch that did nothing while his nation occupied French soil, oppressing them to how they pleased, which deems this Nurse Ratched in a pathetic light. And when I find you, Ratched, in that ward, I'll take back what you try to take away from me. Your throat. Anyways, let's head to our weather channel.
Thank you, Matthew, for that performance. Now, onto the weather. Up in Salem, Oregon, you can expect stormy skies. This particular cloud is known as the ward. The ward is a mental hospital to control Brahman and the other patients. It pressures people to stay inside and can control your lives until it clears up, so watch out for that, folks. Let's just say it'll punish your good personality and will make you passive. The storm may clear up though, but stay wary because this storm is quite similar to one many years ago, Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc was known for defying authority to the controlling systems of the English. The trial that put Joan of Arc in prison for heresy is symbolized by the ward because of its oppressive nature to punish those that rebel against authority. Now, moving south, you will find the Combine, where later today you can expect it to be positioned right on top of that ward. So stay careful and don't rebel too much, or you may find yourself punished. The Combine symbolizes the English that controlled Joan and her people, the French. And because of this Combine, in Cuckoos Nest, it controls the patients and oppresses them, just like the English suppressed the French. From the Combine, you can expect a dense fog that will cover the whole ward and will continue to oppress and manipulate you. Oh, but wait, you are now predicting that McMurphy may clear the skies with his rebellious personality, and the fog may clear. We'll get back to you later on that though, after these advertisements.
Hello, I'm a representative of the Combine, and today I would like to present to you with our new Wonder Pill. This is taken once daily, as prescribed by your nurse. Alright. It promises to help you society to the combine standards? Do you feel dysfunctional? Do you feel like you don't fit in? Do you feel gay? Well, this is sure to solve your problems and allow you to fit into the machine that the combine is trying to condition you to be. Side effects may include nausea, hallucination, delusion, and speech impediments. Having a fog engulfed into your entire mind, making you delusional and insane. Being gay, being straight, who knows?
Breaking news. We have an exclusive interview with Randall McMurphy, a patient that was just admitted to the ward not too long ago and also starred in that basketball game, and is here to discuss what it has been like in the past few months in his...
Hey there, y'all. It's Randall McMurphy here. Don't really know what I'm doing here, but them boys down at the news station could talk a cat out of a tree. That's for God blessing sure. Gave me a Texas-sized bag for this interview. Why, it'd be a sin to turn them down. Now then, as far as my story is concerned, I set foot on that war one day an honest businessman ready to collect. I ain't never intended to incite no revolution, but I do declare my hand was forced. Me and all those other poor souls in that loony box had everything short of our twig and berries taken away from us, and I had no choice but to make some real changes. I believe I gave those folks some real hope there for a minute. Put the life back in their eyes and gave them son of guns a few good victories against that combine, yes sirree. Take it, I really struck a nerve, because them people got me and Chief all jacked up on EST machines, and I took the brunt of it. Reckon I had to fix their wagon up, so I took that old ratchet hag and got her go real nice and dandy, bless her heart. Of course, no good deed goes unpunished. That's about when they turned me into a vegetable and all. And thank God Chief Juicy proved my spirit, or I'd have still been in that damn wheelchair to this day. I do say, this Joan of Arc gal seems to be a real dead ringer to yours truly. From what I didn't heard, she's a real tough cookie, that one. No, neither of us take no oppression from invading English troops or no Miss Nurse Ratchet. We both had to earn our share of respect around the place. And see, now we're both called saviors and symbols of hope for our people. Hey, now that I'm thinking about it, that baby boy seems an awful much similar to King Charles. I was there in his time of need and helped him out getting his freak on with his candy. And in the end, he still ratted each and every one of us out when he got the squeeze put on him. All in all, I'd say we both had our fair share of victory. But in the end, the oppressor still did us in, and we died a horrible death and sacrifice, both me and this Joan of Arc. A mighty harsh reminder that death comes for us all. Well, I'm fitting to stick around and deal a hand or two, but looks like I gotta hang. And remember, always hit on a soft 17.